Hi everyone, welcome back to the channel and to a new video. Today we are going to look at the Trinity desktop environment. The Trinity desktop environment is a desktop environment which is a fork of KDE 3.5 and it's meant to keep the traditional look of the desktop environment. So in this video I'm going to show you how you can install it on Arch and try it out for yourself. I'm also going to leave in the video description the link to the Trinity desktop website where you can see also how you can install it on other distributions. So without too much talking, let's jump into the video. So here we are on the website for the Trinity desktop environment. You can see here the Trinity desktop environment TDE project is a computer desktop environment for Unix-like operating systems with the primary goal of retaining the function and form of traditional desktop computers. Now, as it says here, it was born as a fork of KDE 3.5 back in 2010. But now the Trinity desktop environment is a fully independent project with its own personality and development team. It's available for various Linux distros, BSD and Dill OS. Now this is a special desktop environment, I would say. It does the look of an old style desktop environment, but if you like that kind of look and if you want to have a desktop environment which is similar to KDE and uses very little resources, you can give the Trinity desktop a try. Now here on the documentation you can click on installation and you will have here a wiki where it's going to show you how you can install it on different distributions. Now in this video I'm going to install it on Arch, but I will leave a link to this page in the video description below so that you can see and install it also on other distributions if you choose to do so. So let's go here to a virtual machine which I already prepared here on my computer. So this is a base installation of Arch, and if you don't know how to do this, you can check out my channel. I have tons of videos about installing Arch and only the base of Arch as well. So basically here we can log in with our user and the password, and let me set the fonts here a little bigger. So set font ter-132n to increase the font sizes. You can see also better. Now I'm going to follow here the Arch wiki for the installation of the Trinity desktop environment. I will leave a link also to the wiki in the video description below. So first of all, of course, you need to make sure that you have an Ethernet connection. So sudo pacman-sy, and you need to authenticate here because you're using sudo. You can see I can access my repositories just fine. So to install the Trinity desktop environment, we need to actually add one repository to the pacman configuration file. So let's edit the file which is in the etc directory. So let's type in sudo vim/etc/pacman.conf and hit enter. Now if I search here, for example, for multilib, which is one repository which is included here in the configuration file but is not active by default. You can see here we have it right here. Right now it's not activated. We have two of these. We have multilib testing and multilib, but they are not active, and that's fine. I'm going to go down here to the last line and insert a new line here and create a new repository. Now the repository for the Trinity desktop environment, we need to open the brackets here and call it Trinity and close the square bracket. The next line, we are going to put here the server. So the line is going to read server equal mirror.ppa.trinity-desktop.org/trinity/arch-linux. And then we can save this file and exit vim with :x. And we can try to refresh our repositories. Now it might work or it might not work. So let's give it a try. Sudo pacman-sy. And as you can see here, we have a problem. So it's asking us if we want to import the Pgp key. So I'm going to say yes, but you're probably going to get an error. So we can correct this behavior with two simple commands. The first one is sudo pacman-key-r and then 0 multiplied per the key that we see up here actually ending with 8b. So the key would be 868-5a-d8b, and then hit enter. And now we can list the key again by typing sudo pacman-key-l-sign-key, and we repeat the key we used before. So 0 multiplied per 8685 AD8B, and then hit enter. And you see a small typo there. Instead of sign, I typed sing. So let me correct this, sign. There you go. And then we can hit enter. And now it should work. So let's try to refresh again our repositories. So sudo pacman-sy. And you can see now it's updating just fine. So now we need to install the package. So the package is going to be only one for this desktop environment. So let's type in sudo pacman-s. And the package is tde-tde base. And then hit enter. So let's proceed with the installation here. It's going to take probably a couple of seconds. These are not big packages. You can see the download is already done. And now it's installing the packages. So the desktop environment comes already with a display manager, but we need to activate it. So to do this, we can type in sudo systemctl enable tdm.service and then hit enter. So now we can reboot the machine. So let's type in reboot. We have grub here, so let's boot it up. If everything went well, we should see the display manager. So here is a small setup. So let's type in the username and the password. And here we have a small setup. So this is the K personalizer. So we need to choose the country here. So I'm going to choose actually my country, which is Europe, Central and Switzerland. The language is going to be okay with English. Now here you can choose the system behavior. By the way, you can see this is not the proper resolution, but that's because I'm on a virtual machine. If you're installing this on Metal, probably the resolution will be picked up automatically. Now here you can choose the preferred system behavior. We can choose TDE, we can choose Unix, we can choose Microsoft Windows or Apple Mac OS. It's up to you here. You can see here the system behavior. Graphical user interfaces behave differently on various operating systems. Trinity allows you to customize its behavior according to your needs. So I'm going to go anyway here for Trinity and I'm going to click next. Now here it's about the visual enhancement. So you can see Trinity offers many visual appealing special effects. You can choose whether you want to have them, or if you are on a computer with few resources, you can choose pure effects. In my case here, it's fine. So I'm just going to click next. If you want to see more details here, you can choose show details. You can also check them off if you want to. Here you can choose the theme. Right now we have the plastic. This is the default theme for the Trinity desktop environment, but we have other themes already as well. We have the classical Trinity as well. We have Sunshine. We have Redmond, which is looking very similar to our old Windows version. We have Platinum style and again the plastic style and the ceramic style. I'm going to go here for the default and click next. And now this is finished. We can also change these settings afterwards in the control center here. So here we are now in the desktop environment, and let me close this and also close this help center. And I'm going to click here on the start menu and go to the Trinity control center. You can see this menu here looks very similar to an old Windows 95, 98 version. I'm going to go here to the Trinity control center and down to peripherals and to display so that I can adjust my display resolution here, which is 1920 by 1080, 60 Hz is fine. And I'm going to click apply and accept the configuration. There you go. So this is what we have here for the Trinity desktop. We can see here, we can open up here the terminal, for example, which is console. We go to system and we have here the terminal program. We can type in here free-h. You can see it's using 347 megabytes of RAM, which is very light indeed. So let's explore a little bit here what's included in this desktop environment. We can see here we have a start menu. We have some applications already installed here. Firefox, I installed it actually in the base install of Arch. We have also some plugins here, which are probably installed also from my base install, but some of them are added also from the Trinity desktop environment. We have the settings here for our system, and we have also here some other settings as well for system utilities. We have other utilities here for the desktop and some editors, lost and found, and then we have some shortcuts here, for example, to our home folder, which is also pinned down here. Now, this is actually the file browser for the Trinity desktop environment. You might say it looks very old stylish, and that's because actually it is, at least with this theme. But we can go here to settings. You can see we are using Conqueror, which is actually the default browser in KDE. So if you don't like this, you can also configure this to your liking by changing also the icons and the look here. We have, of course, also Conqueror here as an icon. If we open this up, we have the same basically layout, but we can browse the internet. Probably I'm not going to use this. I'm going to use Firefox or another browser that I already installed here in the system, but this one comes default here in Trinity. Now we can also lock the session here. It has already a lock screen integrated. We just need to enter our password. And we have also here some other switches for switching user and to log out of the session. So you can see, for example, we have here our terminal. We can also pin this, for example, to the main panel, and we will have it here available as an icon. And we can do the same for other things. For example, if we go to the internet section here, right click on add to main panel, it's going to be added here. We can also move these icons in other positions if we want to. That's really up to you. We can also customize here the panel. If we click on configure panel, you can see here the position right now, it's on the bottom right corner. We can choose other positions if you want to. We can have also options for hiding the panel, hide automatically, and so on. We have also some options here for the menu. Now this is the classical menu style, but we can choose also the kickoff style, which looks a little different here. If I click apply and we click here again on the icon, you can see it has a little bit more modern look here, but this is really up to you if you want to have the standard look or this look. So I'm going to go back here to the configure panel here and go to menu, and I'm going to choose again the classic one and click apply. And we can see we have our classical menu. So let's go back here to configure panel. We have also the appearance. Now this is configuring some of the settings, some of the effects on the panel, so you can check them out. You can also here enable transparency if you wish to do so. We have also the button backgrounds that we can change for the menu. For example, right now it's the default, but we can change, for example, this. Let's say we go for green wood and click apply. Then you can see here the background of the button looks different. It's really up to you. It's very customizable. I'm going to go back to default here. Same things goes for application, desktop access, quick browser menu, and Windows list. So you can choose different options for that. And we have also some options here for the taskbar. So let's click OK. Here we can also hide the bar by clicking the arrow here if you want to have full space here on the desktop. And we have also other options for locking the panel here. We can also remove the panel or add also other panels if you want to have multiple panels here. Or you can also add applets to the panel as well. For example, right now we have some of these, but we have also some others that we can choose here and we can add them directly to the panel. Like for example, these lock logout buttons. If I add to the panels here, they are added right here, but you can change also the position somewhere else if you wish to do so. Now, right clicking on the desktop here, we can configure also the desktop. We can choose, of course, another background here. Right now we have this Trinity line heart. You can choose here another picture if you want. For example, Word desktop is one also, which is very cool. And we can also here, if I go back to configure panel, we can choose also the size of the panel. This I haven't showed you before. You can go, for example, with small if you want, and then click OK. And so this is a very quick view for this Trinity desktop environment. But as I showed you before, it's a very light desktop environment. If you want a traditional looking desktop environment, it's really personal taste here. There are other desktop environments which are very light also in resources like XFCE, which is based on the GTK toolkit, whereas the Trinity desktop environment is based on the older Qt 3.5 toolkit, but it's now maintained by the Trinity desktop environment team nevertheless. So if you want to try this out, I will leave a link to all of these resources in the video description below. Let me know what you think about the Trinity desktop environment. So this is the Trinity desktop environment. If you try this out, let me know in the comments below how you like it. And if you have any question about the video, let me also know in the comments below. I will try to answer you as soon as I can. Thanks for watching the video, guys. I'll see you very soon in the next one.